Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Total War Arena. So, just going to be a short video today. I was sort of umming and ahhing whether to do a video on this. So obviously, I feel the elephants have become a little overpowered. Obviously, I said that in my review video when I looked at the Tier 5 Premium, the Surus, and the Tier 6, these guys, which is the African elephants. So I just thought I'd have this quick video. I had quite an interesting game just now, and I thought I'd turn it into a video just to sort of look why I think specifically they're kind of a little bit overpowered, and maybe what could be done to tone them down. And then I'll be interesting afterwards to sort of hear what your guys' thoughts are on, do you think they're overpowered, which I think most people generally do, and if so, what do you think should be done to sort of tone them down a little bit. There's not a lot to say about these guys. I've got them mostly upgraded. I'm still missing this extra box on the top, but it doesn't really do a lot other than, well, morale, which doesn't do anything for elephants. View range, not that important. Missile block chance, kind of useful I suppose, but not really that important. So let's just load into the replay and let's see how we got on. So we're loading in on Rubicon. I immediately, obviously, as with all elephants, I just get the force march going straight away. Obviously I'm using them with Hannibal because he's the natural elephant commander. And then I'm just sort of initially scouting what I can see enemy wise. We've got quite a good tier matchmaking. Most of our team are tier 5, which is also true for the enemies. Although there's a couple of tier 6s dotted around. Obviously we're at tier 6, so gives us a bit of an advantage as well. And obviously being elephants doesn't help as well. And just to say as well, this video is not an attack on sort of elephant players. They are really good fun to play. I mean, I had an absolute blast playing this game. It's just I felt a little bit guilty perhaps about sometimes when the enemies didn't really stand all that much of a chance. So yeah, initially I'm moving up. It was nice to have some support from these Principes. I do sometimes have a tendency to be a bit over-aggressive with these elephants, and if you get sort of too deep in the enemy lines you can get surrounded and killed. So I was trying to sort of keep with a bit of support in this game as we move up. Initially, I know we're moving up with these Principes, and these Hoplites move up to Greeters, which is a fine move traditionally. Libyan Hoplites, these are the Carthaginian Hoplites, but obviously they're not really a threat to the elephants. They're less of a threat than the Roman infantry with Vengeance. They do 1200 damage, and then basically I'm almost through the pike phalanx already. Look, we've done 9000 damage into them, and here can start stomping on them now, getting knocked down on them all. They're just not even a threat to me at all, to be honest. Look, their units, you know, down to a third of its health already. There wasn't really anything to do, and there we go, they're routed with the aid of my Roar, which gives a -13 morale modifier. So yeah, so I feel that in that case these Hoplites really couldn't do a lot, particularly with the Principes in support. They would have definitely been better off trying to pull back to maybe some of their archers to get a bit more fire support. But again, with the elephants being so fast, which is probably the main thing I feel that is overpowered about them, they can't actually even escape. Because even these guys have 4.67 movement speed, even without force march on. As soon as I toggle force march, that gives me another 19% boost to my movement speed. Takes them well over 5. It's quicker than any infantry unit in the game, so no infantry can really outrun these guys. It's almost as quick as some of the slow like Roman cavalry, so it's just a bit ridiculous. Obviously these Hoplites then rout, and they're caught up in the Romans. I mean, you know, poor guys, they just get absolutely decimated very rapidly. So I leave them, since the elephants aren't really particularly great at targeting sort of small amounts of units, they're better in big blobs. So we push into these Roman tier 6 armoured legionaries. I thought it would be quite good to try and kill the higher tier units where I can. Now I do start to make a bit of a mistake here. Obviously I target this enemy elephant. We want to try and get that out of the game straight away, which is obviously no bad move. But the enemy Romans here at tier 6 activate Vengeance, which is a very good move on their part. Gives them that massive increase to melee attack and melee damage. That means they can start to land attacks very effectively on my elephants. Look how much damage they're racking up on this guy over here. And it takes me a while to notice that they're doing so much damage. So this guy's going to go down any second. There he goes. Now, we got to stomp him before he died. Then I realise, you know, I'm fighting off against these Romans, all of who have got Vengeance activated, and that's not really a good thing. But again, this is where the power of the elephants comes in. I can just walk away. Nothing can stop these guys walking, apart from trees. But I walk away. This guy's obviously, oh, that's the Punic mercenaries. This guy's got Vengeance, and it's ticked off. It's just ended because I've just walked away, wait for the 10-second modifier, and that's the end of his Vengeance. And then I can walk back in, look, and now he can't hurt me. And his Vengeance is now on. I can't think of the cooldown off the top of my head, but you know, 150 seconds, 200 seconds. You can't use it for a long time, and that just gives me a massive advantage. because now I can engage these guys without worrying about the Vengeance. And you see the damage they can do is just negligible now. 2,500, well, it's nothing compared to the 6, 7, 8,000 on all of their units that we're doing. And they can't really effectively disengage because I could just walk with them, because I'm as quick as them. So we continue to stomp these guys down. Obviously all their units use Vengeance at once, which is perhaps an error. So maybe a tip for Roman players would be to, if you're going to engage with, if you've got your 3 units, maybe engage with 1 or 2 and activate Vengeance, but always keep perhaps their Vengeance in reserve. So if the Elephant player disengages like I did then, when they re-engage again, you've still got 1 unit that can activate Vengeance and continue to apply that damage. Or at least drive the Elephants off again to keep them off your units. Because now I'm just starting to look at the aggression damage I'm racking up, and I'm just, you know, sat in the middle of the enemy base. It's absolutely slaughtering these Romans. And these are equivalent tier, and there's nothing they can do now they've burned the Vengeance. Get a bit of support from some friendly hoplites. We don't really need to worry too much about friendly fire from these guys, although they actually do rack up a few points of friendly fire. So we continue to cut down these Roman infantry. These hoplites start to suffer a little bit from the enemy slingers, I think, and get cut down pretty quickly. This guy then obviously brings in his third Roman unit. Bless him, and he still hasn't got his Vengeance back. And this is just where I feel they're too powerful. But I mean, for me, I don't know what you guys feel. I think the most powerful thing is the speed of these guys, because that's what gives them the flexibility. If they were much slower, or had extremely slow acceleration, something like that, then they wouldn't be able to chase units so effectively. And at least these guys could then decide, right, I don't want to be in this fight, let's disengage, let's get away, and then I'd have to pick another fight. But with the speed, I can pick and choose my fights. And if the fight starts to go against me, I can get away from them without them being able to hurt me. And I think that's kind of the underlying problem, or at least that's my opinion on it anyway. So we start to get everyone charging into us at this point. And as I say, I was having quite good fun. It is quite satisfying just walking around sort of stomping on everything and flattening everything. But yes, so we continue to do this. One of our elephants is slowly going down now. Look, there he goes. But you know, he's been fighting about 9 different units for the past couple of minutes. So it's not surprising he's finally gone down. And I think really in this battle, with the amount of damage we did, along with our friendly barbarian cavalry, who also did an amazing job, good job Key, we've really sort of turned the tide of this game. We've killed so many of their infantry. We've really tipped this balance in our favour. And look, now we've got our friendly hoplites turning up. I'm just sort of chasing around, killing off what's left. It's harder for me to accrue damage now, where the units are a lot less health. It's I don't get so much damage in a strike or a stomp. I'm only getting a couple, 100 damage there. But we're still tying up enemy units, and when I walk around stamping on quite a few of them. So they are really quite effective still. And the enemy archers, even shooting into my rear, what damage are we getting? Like 500, 600 damage on a unit that's got almost 50,000 base health. It's not really that effective. I should also say I'm running these with the apples consumable, which, ironically, given that I think speed is probably the problem with the units, the apples consumable actually gives them more speed. But that's because I guess speed gives them the most power. So I'm kind of abusing it in a way, really. And then I'm just chasing down these Punic mercenaries. You see, even with their force march on, they can't escape me. Look, the speed difference is just so severe. They're only base movement speed with force march on is only 4.4, and I'm well into the 5s. Yeah, 5.45. So we can just walk straight into them and engage them. Just get straight in, 1,000 damage. Straight in with the stomps. You see that the enemy archers realise their time is up and are trying to flee out of this one. So we'll just hit into fast forward since he's obviously not particularly exciting into the battle. So I'm just killing off these mercenaries. I think, right, let's just go for these archers. And even with only, I've only got 2,000 health left, 4%, 3% of my unit health, these archers can't kill me. And I'm able then to do 2% of my unit health, and they still can't do anything against me, and I can just chase them down. And look, from the front, the amount of damage they do is just very negligible. And of course, I'm just so much quicker than them, I can just catch them up. They'd have probably been better off keeping running here if they really wanted to carry on, but perhaps with the way the battle was going, they weren't that bothered and thought it was all over. We plough in 6,000 damage, and just keep stamping them down, basically, until we get the rest of our infantry turn up. As they do now. I've just noticed that Key isn't actually a cavalry player, but is with barbarian infantry. Very cool. We'll be getting onto these tier 5 warriors at some point soon with our Vercingetorix, which we'll be kind of looking forward to. And that was the game. So, yeah. I kind of feel that they're a little a little too strong. I know Wargaming and Creative Assembly, obviously joint in this venture, have sort of said that they feel they are too strong and that they're going to be nerfing them probably a little bit more, but they just don't want to overdo it, which is understandable. Obviously, I know in the past in some Wargaming games they've obviously gone really hard in with the nerf hammer and sort of overdone it, and I think they want to collect some statistics on how they play out before they start sort of reducing their stats a bit. But I think for me, the main one to nerf down would be their movement speed, or at least their maneuverability in general. If you start to reduce that, I think that will reduce their flexibility, and at least it will give infantry the chance to disengage if it's not a favourable fight. So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Please give the video a like. I know not everyone likes elephants. Don't dislike my video because you don't dislike the elephants. Subscribe to the channel for more Total War Arena content, and I shall see you all on the next video.